We're back once again, only on It's After Hours, only on Full Swap Radio. Joining me here on location, this young lady here, well, you have seen her all over the place. She was at the, Exotica Miami, making some big things happen. She's been blowing up all over OnlyFans and on her website. And what a lot of people are saying, she's going to be the next hot thing coming out in the industry here. I give you the
Thank
beautiful,
you.
very gorgeous, very hardworking. I give you its AZ Hotwife, Daisy Foxxx. So Daisy, let's start off here with. So let's
Yeah,
a big
hi.
question. How the hell did you get involved in this? What made you decide to become an adult performer?
Okay, so me and my husband have been married going on 19 years next month. So we first started off as swingers, and then it just eventually led down to creating content. I was actually exposed at work, and so I ended up losing my job, and I just thought to myself, people, um, by what I mean is exposed is somebody had found one of my swinger accounts and took it to my boss. And then from there, I just lost my job. And so I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be. If people are nosy about my sex life, what happens behind closed doors, they're going to have to pay for it. So that's how I got started in the content world.
So let's start off with you and your husband. 19 years. How do you guys make it
Yeah.
work? And how does he handle your new career? Because it's tough when you're a small business owner. So you're basically at times the camera woman, you're the talent, you're also the publicist, you're the director, you have your
Yeah.
own makeup artist. So like that takes a lot of time. So how does he handle it? And how does he handle sometimes like there's days you're probably just, so busy you won't even, have time to really spend with him at times.
Oh no, it's actually the opposite. He's my number one supporter. He helps me with my if I need help with something online, he'll help me with that. Um, he's really good. He's basically my assistant who doesn't get paid. So yeah, it's great. It's teamwork.
What was it about him that made you fall in love with him and stay in love? I mean, 19 years is a long time. So most people don't even have like cars for that long or even houses. And yet you two have been together almost now 2 decades. So what is it
Yes.
about him that you love and you're like, hey, he's my ride or die guy. I don't care what happens here. Even
Oh,
some hot guys to work with, he is my guy.
yes. So I always like to refer us to peanut butter and jelly, or oil and water. Um, he's the opposite of me. I'm the opposite of him, and somehow we just, how they always say opposites attract. So that's us right there. When I get hot tempered, he knows how to calm me down, vice versa. And what I love about him the most is he's very open minded. He does not get jealous whatsoever. As I said, he's my number one supporter in everything. And I don't know, we just find a really, really good balance about everything. Communication is number one thing. And I mean, yeah, I just love him to death.
I've talked with a lot of swingers who are happily married, whether it's Kiki Lou, Pink Marie
Hmm.
Kelly, Jasmine Cruz. There's always like certain things over it, like, all right, we're not doing this because this is special between me and our husband, or I'm not doing this because my husband and I wanted to keep this to ourselves.
Oh
Is there
yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
that you look and go, I won't do this on camera because this is my husband's thing. This is what we do that nobody else can do.
Yeah, I have my special bowls I have on the side where I try to keep that balance of, keeping it because he's very voyeuristic. And so I like to keep a balance of, I go and do the content stuff, yes, but then I also have to find the time to go do, stuff that's private just for us. And that's something I will not record or not share with anybody. It's just between us.
You've been doing a lot of collaborations. You're shooting with a lot of good people here. What do you look for? I mean, when you're shooting with people and you get to, and as small business owner and OnlyFans star, you get to pick whoever you want, work with whoever you
Yes.
want, do whatever you want with. What do
Oh
you look
yeah,
for? Is there a
definitely.
certain attitude, look, personality that you like the most?
So I don't necessarily care about looks. It's all about your personality, how you approach me. If you send me a DM and says, "Hey," um, like, okay, I need you to understand, please, that I get tons of messages, so I can't be going back and forth say, hey, hi, if you're gonna come at me, just be like, give me like a sentence or a paragraph. I don't even care if it's a paragraph. Just, introduce yourself. That's how I always like it. And that's what stands out to me is somebody introduces themselves and just basically get straight to the point. Yeah, I'm not picky about looks or anything. Just as long as they have a good personality, then we are cool. If you get along with my husband, then we are even cooler.
So who have been the people you've learned the most from in terms of collaborators, whether it's stuff in terms of behind the scenes, whether it's performances, whether it's they've helped you network even more? Like who are some of your favorite collaborators in terms of people who have helped you grow as a OnlyFans star and also as a businesswoman?
Yeah, I have to say a little bit of everybody, whether you're big, whether you're small, you're always learning something new, especially in today's age, like technology, like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. But that's more of like the younger generation. I'd say in the very beginning, I'd have to give it to DFW Knight. He taught us a lot. And Dawn Marie, she taught us a lot too. Gosh, that was way, way back in the day. Trying to think. But yeah, that's I think for us too, it was more of like, because we got started back in 2015, 2016. And so we did make a lot of mistakes. We learned from those mistakes. And it was just kind of like a learning process for everything.
Lots going on with you here, and I'm curious to know how much work goes into your clips. Like for you as yourself, you do great work. You look
Thank
beautiful.
you.
The quality is top notch. So, how much goes into just one clip in terms of everything that you're doing, whether it's the production side, whether it's scheduling, whether it's editing? Like to just do one clip, which is like a 30, let's say 30-minute clip. How much work
Yeah.
goes into just making sure from start to
And
finish, it's
yeah,
good?
it is actually a lot of work. As you said, you have to pick the location. It's I say for a 30-minute video, you would want, well, I try to push for like at least 45 minutes just so you have that edit room to make edits. And when you're editing a video, that can take anywhere from, gosh, just depending on the size of the video, it can take a day or two. Um, but yeah, just it's very time consuming.
Used to be, oh, I have an iPhone, I have a GoPro, I can shoot porn here,
Oh.
click, 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 and yeah, that's now gone to the wayside. So I'm guessing for you, how often do you usually have like two or three cameras, like a regular a GoPro for like just the POV video, another camera for the full 360 action, and then a backup camera just in case.
Yes.
Okay, camera one went down, camera two's not really working. We need camera three here, people.
Yeah. So we actually have three phones, three iPhones, one Samsung. So that's four phones. And then what we have been mainly using these days is we have a Ronin attached to a Sony camera. And that's our go-to. Hasn't failed us yet, knock on wood. So, but if anything, it's the iPhone, if anything were to happen to the Sony camera.
What's the wildest custom you ever had to do? Because those are the big things for most people I know talking regarding their business. Like, oh yeah, people calling, hey, I want a custom video for this, custom video for that.
I have
And
to say
some are like
scat.
boy, girl, some are sort of weird. So for you, what were some of the ones you like, you want me to do what?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all scatting. Like, will you scat for me? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, no. But I'd say that's probably the craziest one for me.
No, no, but I'm just saying, what's like the wild
My
or,
wildest one.
yeah, wild custom you had to do that
Um,
even you're going like, okay, this is a bit weird, but hey, let's
hmm,
do it.
I actually don't have any. I mean, to some people might think that, okay, so somebody like a fan, would want me to see me with a bull in person. And I've done that a few times, but I think that's probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
Ah.
Nothing wild. Yeah.
what do you prefer? What's easier for you? Doing solo videos where you're by yourself, but it's you basically have to play off a toy, or a performer where hey, there's sometimes chemistry, but sometimes, as you said, either fireman ain't coming out of the house or the girl gets frozen up.
I'd say it's 50-50. Like with myself, I know I can please myself. Like when it's going into filming with other individuals, it's a hit or miss sometimes, and that's okay. I try to find a positive side of everything. So I don't walk off the set upset or anything. Just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Everybody's human and everybody has their likes, dislikes, And like with a lot of guys, they talk a big game, like, oh yeah, I can do this and I can do that, I can last this long. But then when it comes into actually working, you have the lights, you have the cameras in your face, and especially if you're new, that's understandable if you get nervous or you can't perform. I just roll with it. Yeah, even females.
Has it ever happened where you schedule this a woman, you're all set, you think it's gonna be good, then you realize she's just not into women. And some
Oh
people want to do
yes,
that, work with you because hey, you're Daisy Foxxx, you have a big, fan base. You're thinking, okay, we'll do this. And next thing you know, you're looking, going, okay, God damn it, go down on me. Just don't look at it and treat
yeah,
it like it's Brussels sprouts. Go down,
yeah. I've
miss. Go down.
yes, yes. I've had a few of those. I've actually had one where I talked over everything, like you're okay, because I always talk about do's and don'ts. And I had asked her, "Is this okay? Is this okay?" Yeah, 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 yeah. But then when it started happening, when I tried to kiss her, she pulled away, and I was like, "Okay, maybe she just got startled, and I'll try again." And then she pulled back again. I was like, "Okay, um, just do what you want to do to me." Um, I had that situation. I've had, like, oh yeah, I'm into girls, but then like, because when I eat out a girl, I'll eat out a girl. There's been women who come up to me and like, or just like lick me, like just barely touch me with their tongue, or I don't know what they're doing down there. Sometimes I'm just like, what is this?
Speaking of touching, there's a story of one
Hmm.
of my guests once told me about how if she goes to a nightclub, people, girls will walk up and go, "Oh, are those real? Can I touch them?" Has that happened to you? Because you're a busty Latina, and you know what happens. You
Yes,
and your husband go out to the club. You'll start dancing. If they're respectful, go, "Hey, can I touch those?" And sometimes you'll have a girl who's just very forward, go, "Oh," and you're like, "Okay, it's like the fruit stand here. You break it, you buy it here, pal."
I actually haven't. Everybody for the most part is really respectful. They're like, "Can I touch you?" Or like, "Can I touch them?" Yeah, I haven't had anybody like just come up to me and just randomly touch me.
How weird was it the first time it happened, though? Like, you have somebody go, "Hey, can I touch those?" Like, wait a minute, you're what?
Oh
Because it's
no,
always
because
weird the
these
first time where it's like you say, "Oh, can I shake
not.
your hand? Can I give you a hug? Hey, can I touch your boobs?" Like, wait a minute here. I've
I'm
never had
actually
this
no,
before.
no. I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, and I'm fine with it. Just as long as I ask, then I'm cool with it. But I think if somebody were just to come up to me and just do that, then I would get a little offended. Like, okay, what are you doing? It would throw me off.
Well, if it was a guy, you'd probably smack him. If it's a girl and she's hot, she's like, okay, I should get pissed. Damn, she's hot. So maybe I
Yeah,
can talk her into something.
yeah, that is very true. I probably think about it that way. Yeah, if the guy was hot, I wouldn't say anything too. So, like, oh, you want more?
Yeah, but if he just walked up and started grabbing, you would be like, hey, 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 hey. If it's a girl, though, it's like, because they know how to touch. Whereas,
Yeah,
as,
they
as
do.
one woman said, a guy just like starts squeezing. It's like, oh, crap. Okay, they will break. And then I'll have to
Yeah,
kick you in the nuts. And
yeah,
that will
yeah.
not
I
feel good.
would. Yes, that would not feel good. And yes, I think I'd probably hit them in some form of way.
Now, have you ever been starstruck? Because you're starting to work with more popular people, more established people. Has it
Hmm.
happened yet where you've been like either starstruck or sort of taken back, like, oh my God, can't believe this person wants to collaborate with me?
I actually haven't. The way I go into it is just like, okay, um, I respect everybody, and I'm just more like, hey, you're a human being, I'm a human being, and if we make great work together, then that's awesome. But for the most, I haven't been starstruck.
Do you have a porn crush? Like, is there somebody you
Foreign
really want to work
question.
with?
Ooh, that's a good question. I I mean, I work with a lot of people. Not that I can think of off of the top of my head.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, we got Daisy Foxxx on the show. We're talking a lot of big things going on, and she is had a fantastic Miami Exotica. You were shooting with a lot of top people here. How tough is it explain to people sometimes, especially family, what you do? Not just, hey, mom, dad, doing OnlyFans, but like the work. Because most people
Oh,
think it's easy. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, all of my family knows. My parents know, my siblings know, my kids know, and I don't go into details, and they know, like, they know what I do. It has to do with, sex, but they're just like, oh, I don't want to know the details, and that's pretty much it. I don't have to explain anything. Like, hey, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and they're like, oh, is it personal or is it business? I'm like, business. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Regarding your kids, how
Hmm.
nervous was it talking to them in the beginning? Because you knew that as soon as you start getting more popular,
Yeah.
people would find out. And kids unfortunately say nasty things to other kids. So
Yes.
when you realize, okay, it's time, I gotta explain to our kids, hey, mom, dad is doing this. How tough
Hmm.
is it for you going, okay, I'm gonna have to have a talk? And crap, they might get hurt just because somebody's gonna find, that, hey, your mom's doing porn. And they're gonna say something, and it's like it's something that's kind of just you shouldn't say, but people say it anyway because hey, in
Yes.
today's society, you can say anything, get away with it almost.
Yes. So with our kids, we waited for them to get older to, have a better understanding of what we do. And so we waited until they all turned a certain age. And we just all sat them down and told them, hey, this is what mom does. This is why because they would ask, like, why are you gone so much? And so we just broke it down really simple for them. And now they're just like, oh, okay. And any questions they ever have, I answer them with honesty. I'm pretty much, I have an open communication with all my kids. And yeah, I mean, they don't need to know the details, but they know what they need, just the surface part of what I do.
No, I'm guessing no, but you don't know the details. But was it for you like more nerve wracking, leading up and having to talk with them rather than when you actually
Of
had to
course.
talk? It's like, oh, okay, I thought this was gonna be much worse, and it's not that bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had that feeling of nervousness because everybody, all of my kids are different personality wise. So I didn't know how they were going to handle the news. But for the most part, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to go.
How tough is it for family and friends to understand what you do in terms of not the porn, but
Hmm.
the work that goes into it, the constant on the phone, as you said, the constant traveling. Because everybody thinks, oh, it's easy, just it shouldn't take that long. It's only 30 minutes. You probably can do it in and out. It's like, no, no, no. We gotta shoot the stuff. We gotta coordinate. I'm on the phone, texting, tweeting, updating stuff. I
Yes.
gotta, do photo shoots. Like, how tough is it sometimes telling people, no, I can't put my phone down. I'm in the middle of a conference call. No, I can't take the weekend off. I got tons of plans here. No, I can't take a day off. I already have it scheduled for a shoot, a layout.
Oh,
I got to
yeah.
go to the gym. I got to do all this. And they just go, but it's just
Yeah.
a shoot.
Yeah. Sometimes it is very difficult to have them or make them understand, especially like when I go back to Arizona and because I already know like a lot of people out there. So I try to book myself for shoots but then find time to spend with family. But then just because of how long shoots take and you have to do all the paperwork and whatever comes with it, it takes longer than you anticipated. So, like, sometimes I double book and I don't mean to do that. And I have to go back and I have to apologize to them, say I'm sorry. And this is what happened. I'm not, just I got backed up on my schedule. But it is sometimes difficult.
What's the plan down the road? Because as you said, you've been a swinger for 19 years. You've got into the industry a couple of years now. You've established yourself as a pretty, top level OnlyFans star. What's next? Like, where's some of the things you're working on down the line? But it's like, okay, this is my next big thing I want to accomplish. This is the next big thing I want to do. This is the next,
Yeah.
goal for me.
Yes, that's a good question. As of right now, I feel like I'm doing pretty good as far as hitting all my goals. I wanted to design my website and get it up and running, which I did. And for that, I want to continue to work with, you know, creators, my fans, and I just want to focus on my website. And then OnlyFans is going to be there, but just because the way OnlyFans is going right now, it's I don't know how that's going to play out. So um, the goal for me right now is to focus and hope that everybody on my OnlyFans slowly, goes to my website just because OnlyFans is kind of iffy right now and they're always changing their terms and service. But yeah, just continue to work on my content.
Let's talk about the website, azhotwife.xxx.net.
Yes.
How much you look at that
Uh,
as like your baby? I don't mean the kids, because the kids are are the most probably the biggest pride and joy. But this is something that you created, you worked on, you
yes.
took a long time to have done, and it's like when it got launched and when you started, seeing like everybody tuned in and check it out. Like, how much do you look at this like this is my baby,
Oh,
and you
every
look at it
day.
with pride?
Yeah, I do. Every morning when I wake up, checking messages. I made it as uh, fan friendly as I could, made it very simple. And like, gosh, starting it from day one was, yeah, it was a lot of work. And then it took me a couple months to figure out, how I wanted the layout in, going back and forth with the tech support. But the things that go on behind the scenes as far as creating a website is, especially if you're not like super like tech savvy, it's a lot of work. So every day I am, filled with joy because this is my baby and I hope she succeeds.
How much have you had to become tech savvy? Because while you, as I said, your husband helps you out and he's doing the yeoman's work. How much along the
Yes.
way have you started like picking up stuff just so that you're more confident doing this? That you can actually like, if you want to update it, and the husband's busy, like, hey, I'm gonna update this, and you can do it.
Oh yeah, that's easy. So that's a little thing about having the tech support. I can just call them like, hey, how do you do this? And they'll explain it to me. Or YouTube. I can just YouTube it. But yeah, I just kind of sit back and I watch, I listen, take notes. I'm old school, like I'll write it down and then I just have it from there.
As we're doing this interview, OnlyFans
Hmm.
is being transitioning. It seems they're now they want to go mainstream. All of a sudden, you notice new leadership. You notice certain people getting
Yeah.
kicked off. That means you have to look out for other groups, whether it's Fansly, whether it's other sites. Like, how much do you is your business also about making sure? Okay, this went down. Well, I still have these social media sites. OnlyFans isn't taking my work. Okay, I have an if other sort. Like, how big is it for you making sure you're always one step ahead?
Oh, that is where when everything started happening with OnlyFans, that's why I built my website was because, this is something I'm in control of. Nobody else has control of what I put up. No, I can't get kicked off. I know I can't get kicked off because I'm in control. So that's, I mean, just having that brings so much ease and comfort to me, knowing that I'll always have this for however long I want it to be there. And I'd say that's probably the highest top tier for me. As far as like OnlyFans, Fansly, mini vids, clips for sale, that's where I started. Clips for sales, mini vids. Um, they do take a high percentage, and that's one thing I always looked at too. And OnlyFans, not so much, but my website is my top tier thing for everybody. Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen. Next thing is gonna be professional shoots. So let me ask you this: when do you expect to have? Like, when do you expect to have your first pro shoot? And do you want to have them? I mean, is a part of the plan also working for like, hey, I want to shoot for Brazzers. Hey, I want to shoot for Naughty America. I want to have those, be on sites where help me get my name out there. And for the
Yes.
first time, I don't have to worry about doing the makeup, the hair, all that. I can just walk on set and I'll be pampered.
Yes, I've actually thought about it. I've talked to a few agencies, and um, as far as my schedule right now, I can't do it. I can't sign up with an agency right now just because I had already planned stuff in a month advance. So, but I do, that's something I do want to do in the future, just for, the to gain more experience and for the exposure, as you said.
Well, very happy, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're very happy to have on the show. I give you once again the beautiful, the gorgeous, and the very accomplished. I give you AZ Hotwife. I give you Daisy Fox. Daisy, before I let you go, where can fans
Mhm.
check you out at? Where is Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, many vids? Besides the website, once again, azhotwife.xxx.net. Where else can fans check you out at?
Well, as of right now, I still have my OnlyFans. So if you want to check that out, OnlyFans, I've decided it's not going anywhere. So you can find that at azhotwife.daisy.fox. That's the triple X with the Fox again. And then Twitter is azhotwife triple X. Um, and then my IG is azhotwife.daisy.fox or fo.x.x.x. Yeah, a lot of dots and a lot of X's.
AZ Hot Wife Daisy Fox, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, always an honor, pleasure have you on the show. We come back. We got a lot more going on here. Only on it's After Hours. Only on Full Swap Radio.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.